Hi everyone, my name is Katie and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my February TBR. So these are the books that I hope to read in the month of February, time permitting of course. So I have kind of an ambitious stack. I have 8 books, although there's only 6 here because a couple of them I don't actually have the copies of yet. But 8 is an ambitious TBR for me, but I'm hoping because a couple of them are children's novels and I'm also going on vacation for a week to the Dominican Republic, that I'll have some extra reading time in there. So we'll see how it goes. The first book that I plan to read this month is Bad Guys by Erin Blavey. So I'm choosing to read this book because I run a kids book club as part of my job as a librarian. So this is the book that the 7 to 10-year-olds are going to be reading and we're going to be talking about in the month of February. So I'm looking forward to it. I know that these books are so popular. They're funny. There's a lot of humor. There's a lot of visuals in there. So I think that my readers are going to really enjoy it. And I just thought it was a nice, fun read for them. The next book that I plan to read is the BFG by Roald Dahl, which I don't have a copy of, so I'll throw a copy image up here. This is a book actually for my tween book club. So I also run a book club for ages 10, 11 to 13, and in the month of February we're going to be reading the BFG, which I'm really excited about. I don't think I ever read this Roald Dahl book as a kid, but I know it's a classic and I want to experience it with these readers that I have. I read Matilda last month with my younger book club and they really enjoyed it, so I thought I'd just kind of carry on the Roald Dahl-ness of the book clubs and we'll give it a try with this group in February. So I do have that on my TBR, and I know I'm probably really late to the game and haven't read it, but better late than never, right? The next book that I plan to read is After You by Jojo Moyes. So this book has been on my TBR shelf for a while. I read Me Before You. I didn't love Me Before You, but I thought it was okay. I'd also already seen the movie, so I know that sometimes when I read the book after I see the movie, it impacts my experience. So I'm looking forward to reading this because there hasn't been a movie of this and it is a sequel. And also my in real life book club is reading Jojo Moyes books for the month of February. So therefore this also accomplishes that, and it's from my unread shelf. So again, it's meeting lots of criteria. The next book that I plan to read is Such a Fun Age by Kylie Reid. Now I've heard so many good things. This is a new release book. It just came out in January, and it is the book that another one of my in real life book clubs has chosen to read for February. So I'm going to read a bit of the synopsis for you because I don't actually really fully remember what this book is about, just that it looks really good. So what happens when you do the right thing for the wrong reason? Alex Chamberlain is a woman who gets what she wants and has made a living with her confidence-driven brand, showing other women how to do the same. So she's shocked when her babysitter, Amira Tucker, is confronted while watching the Chamberlain's toddler one night walking the aisles of their local high-end supermarket. The store's security guard, seeing a young black woman out late with a white child, accuses Amira of kidnapping 2-year-old Briar. A small crowd gathers, a bystander films everything, and Amira is furious and humiliated. Alex resolved to make things right. It's with empathy and piercing social commentary. Such a Fun Age explores the stickiness of transactional relationships, what it means to make someone family, and the complicated reality of being a grown-up. It is a searing debut for our times. So it sounds really good. It's a debut novel, so again, that's exciting, and I can't wait to read it. So that is on my TBR for February. Next up, we have Sadie by Courtney Summers. This is a book that I have also heard a lot about on Bookstagram and on BookTube, and it's a Canadian author. It's a mystery thriller. It is YA, which again, I'm a bit picky about my YA, but this book sounded so good. It's also on the OLA, which is Ontario Library Association Forest of Reading list for this year, so it's definitely been on my radar for a while, and I'm gonna read it this month. I'll give you a really brief intro to it. So when popular radio personality Wes McCrae receives a desperate phone call from a stranger imploring him to find 19-year-old runaway Sadie Hunter, he's not convinced there's a story there. Girls go missing all the time. But as soon as Wes's boss discovers Sadie fled home after the brutal murder of her little sister Maddie, he sees the makings of something big and orders Wes to the small town of Cold Creek, Colorado to uncover what happened. Alternating between Sadie's unflinching voice as she hunts the killer and the podcast transcripts tracking the clues she's left behind, Sadie is a breathless thriller about the lengths we go to protect the ones we love and the high price we pay when we can't. It will haunt you long after you reach the final page. I've also heard that the audiobook for this is really, really good, so I may give the audio a try, just depending on how I feel and how my time for reading is going over the month. Next, I plan on reading Ellen Hildebrand's Winter in Paradise, and I'm basically reading this on my holiday because of the beachy summer vibes, and I'm hoping that it'll just be a really, really great poolside romance. I haven't read too many Ellen Hildebrands before. I read her Winter Street series, and I didn't love it, but it was good enough. And so again, I'm just really hoping that this will just be like a quick, beachy type of contemporary romance, women's fiction type of book, and that's why I'm picking it. Another book that I do hope to read this month, which I may or may not get to, we'll have to see how the month is going, is Pretty Girls by Karen Slaughter. So I have wanted to read this book for seems like a while now because Kayla from Books and Lala talks about it, and Gabby from Gabby Reads talks about it, and they make it sound so good. It's a thriller as well. It's supposed to be really, really intense thriller, and because I am just getting on the thriller train, I haven't read a lot of thrillers, and so I'm still trying to figure out exactly what I like in thrillers, what I don't, and because they both rated this so high and I really, really trust their judgment, I'm excited to give it a try. But I know that it's really intense and a bit dark and heavy, so I don't know when this month in February I'm going to actually get to it, if it'll be before my trip or after. Probably not on my vacation because I don't think this is really a vacation type of read, but you never know, so we'll give it a shot. The last book on my TBR that I haven't talked about yet is In 5 Years by Rebecca Serle, and again, I don't have a physical copy of this, so this is an ARC. I have a digital copy from Netgalley to read and review. It comes out on March the 3rd, and it's a romance. It's for fans of Me Before You. It's a striking love story following an ambitious lawyer who experiments an astonishing vision that could change her life forever. It's set in New York, which I do really enjoy books that are set in New York City because of all the New York City vibes that you get, and I do like romance somewhat, so we'll see how it goes. I'm excited to try it. If you can't tell, I do kind of mix and match my genres. I rarely read the same genre twice in a row, and I'm kind of all over the place with that. So I do make sure that my TBRs each month seem pretty balanced in terms of genre. So as you can see, this month I have a couple children's books, I have a YA, I have some romance, I have some thrillers, I have a contemporary in there. The only thing I don't plan on reading is any nonfiction in February, and part of that is because of reading a lot of nonfiction in January, and also just because books and I do need to read for book clubs and stuff, and there's just not really time in there to throw in a nonfiction. If I do decide to read a nonfiction, it'll be a surprise, and it'll be something that I likely read on audiobook if I'm in the mood for an audio. So that is my February TBR. Let me know if you've read any of those and if you've loved them or if you've not liked them. If there's anything you haven't heard of that you are now maybe have on your radar, and if there's any of those books that you have enjoyed on audio and you think that the audio experience is really good, please let me know, because I know that Sadie is supposed to be really good via audio, but I'm not sure about the others, and it might help me actually read all these books in February if I can read a couple of them in audiobook form. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you are liking my content, feel free to hit that subscribe button down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Bye!